Audiobooks 101, Part 4, Post-Production. Wrong! Do it again! Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall. Welcome to another edition of Audiobook 101, this time Part 4, Editing and Post-Production. Narrating is like writing. No matter how confident you are in the first pass, there are almost certain to be errors. Also, like writing, there's only so much the narrator can self-correct. Enter the proofer, or proof listener. There are folks who do this, and I have found they are well worth hiring. Generally, they work for between $30 and $50 per finished hour, and for that, a proofer will listen to the audio, checking it against the written script, and return an error sheet showing the times and details of corrections to be made. It is surprising how many times a proofer finds a place that I slurred a word, mistook one word for another, or wildly mispronounced something. Or my punch and roll as I go editing was a little less than seamless. Having somebody find these mistakes is the difference between an okay production and a good production. As an aside, this is one of the reasons I insist on at least some sort of upfront payment for doing audiobook work. I use those funds to hire a proofer, guaranteeing the quality of my performance goes up and the rights holder gets good quality from the start. I commend hiring a proofer to you, even if you are reading your own work. After all the narration is accurate, then comes mastering. Mastering is tweaking the audio so that the maximum and minimum volume levels, the overall average volume level, and the amount of residual noise all meet or exceed the industry specs, and that the resulting file is saved in the right format and encoding specs. I'll put a link to the ACX specs below. I won't go into an in-depth explanation of exactly what all the numbers mean so we don't go down a deep technical rabbit hole. If you want to know, I'll be happy to go there. Let me know. But the simple explanation is that the audio should be within an average volume level, so users don't have to be adjusting their volume constantly. The audio should never be loud enough to cause clipping, and there shouldn't be any room or residual noise loud enough to hear. How do you hit these values? Noise removal and compression. As discussed in the recording episode, a well-treated space is the most important investment you can make. If your space is good, your recording will be good and not require as much noise removal. I use Isotope RX to handle room and mouth noise. It's not cheap, but it has been worth every penny. I use a stack of effects to automatically EQ and take out mouth noise and clicks. I then manually use tools that learn background noise like AC or heater noise and gently, invisibly take it out. It's truly amazing. I will again recommend Don Barnes' training. He has a whole course on Isotope. Without that learning, I wouldn't know where to begin. The final stage is compression and limiting. Imagine you're a photographer at a school. You have a bunch of really tall kids and really short kids. To get everyone to fit neatly in the frame, you ask the tall kids to sit down and the short kids to stand. Then everybody is near enough the same height that they all fit in the frame. That's essentially what a compressor does. It selectively turns down the loudest sounds so that there's less difference between the loudest and the softest sounds. A limiter simply suppresses anything that goes beyond a certain peak, normally -3 dB. Ideally, the limiter is a backstop. If it's engaging all the time, the compressors aren't set right. Again, I apologize if this is vague. This is rather technical, though once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. You will want training in this area. It is also possible to hire folks to master audiobook chapters for you. I've not done this, but there are narrators who do if the technicalities of audio engineering are not their cup of tea. Finally, files are always saved as MP3 files, 44.1 kilohertz sample rate, 192 kilobits per second, constant bit rate. If the audio is saved in any other way, ACX and other platforms won't accept it. Again, I will throw the offer out to anyone in the dojo. I am happy to meet via Zoom to dig into the details, and go more deeply if anyone would like. As always, drop questions in the comments. Until next time, keep your voice healthy and check your levels.